All right. Welcome to the final edition of this bad boy right here. It cost me 2 beds, but that's okay. This is the last bed that this specific print will cost me because it works, guys. All right, so this is our final edition, and pretty much the only hardware is that spring and these razor blades. So you just need a razor blade. You need to buy a pack of springs. Have all this stuff. The PTF. I don't know what these exactly are called. They're PTFE quick disconnects, I think, or maybe they're because I know they go for like pneumatic systems. So it could be like pneumatic quick disconnects or something along those lines. But I'll have all this stuff posted. But we'll go ahead and give you a quick breakdown of what all this entails. So you have these little springs here. They come out looking like that, right? Fresh out of the pack. They're about yay long. So what you'll do is you'll end up cutting them one side like this. You might have to bend these to a certain angle and bend this guy. You might have to work with it a little bit to get this to sit right. This is an old mock-up, so this is not the positioning of this current hole is a lot closer to this spring, to the center of this spring. So you might not have to bend this at all. Again, just work with what you're working with and try to figure out the best thing to do for it, obviously, right? Every printer is going to print a little bit differently, so this is not going to be the same for everybody. The length is pretty much just going to be the same. You can only go so deep in this before it hits into this square area, right? Because you're coming from over here. So you can only go so far before you start getting into this cavity. If you want to adjust this, I'm going to have step files and all that. Again, this is a different, this isn't the same, because if you look at this, this is massive, and then I've had to chomp down a lot. Sorry for the crappy print. But this will be adjusted because the front, I added a few, I think I added a millimeter or two to the front and kind of rounded this and made it a bit more even. I also adjusted this part in here because this was slightly rubbing right here, so I've adjusted that, and this will all be corrected in the files that I give you guys. So it's the same if you've been watching along, or if you're new. It's the same thing as I did before, just a little nubbin right there, and there's obviously a little top piece that broke off right here. If you don't print ASA right, it does become brittle. So if you don't let it cool down slow enough, and you don't have enough heat, which I'm not, obviously I'm not in a chamber, right? So kind of hard to print ASA without a chamber. Just a little bit of a challenge, not impossible. So basically you'll put your spring in here like so, and then you'll have your guy right here. Quick tip, if you insert your blade holder in your blade first, it'll be a lot easier putting this thing together. Because then that way you can just slide in your spring, you know, get everything there, then you can put in your hinge. You know what I mean? So, the only other part, which I thought I brought out here, I might not have it. Maybe it fell somewhere. Not a huge deal. So the only other part besides the handle, your back plate, your blade plate, blade holder, whatever you want to call it. This is the little thing that goes over top. It's like that pretty much. Is your bump stop. So it's the new bump stop. It's good. It's nice and sturdy. a lot closer to that gantry, pretty much no flex, which is what I was going for. I wanted 0 flex in this thing, because the more flex, the more force is needed, and yeah. There is no catch for this back here. There's no catch because it binds in that hole, and binding keeps it from coming all the way out. Okay? And this handle has been changed a little bit from the Mach 1 I had here. I've moved some stuff around, and I put a little cover sleeve for the spring, just so it has, I mean, it didn't come out, but just so it has 0 chance to come out. I was thinking of just extending this whole thing just so it's more flush and you don't really see this little, yeah. But anyways, these are all filament hinges. So hinge 1, hinge 2, all filament. I just melted the ends and just smushed them down with my finger. Pretty simple. Inside of this spring is what I will label a spring alignment, I guess. I don't really know the name I'm going to call it in the files. You can kind of see it in there. It's pretty much just to keep the spring, because obviously you have this massive hole here. It's just to keep this spring in line with the rest of the hinge, so it doesn't pivot and move on you, and you can just keep going at it, right? So let's go ahead and just get down to the main show and just show you guys. And I'll give you guys a little tuggy here just to show you it's in there. I'm not pulling any tricks or anything. And we'll go ahead and heat this up just so we can do... Go ahead and heat it up just so we can do a couple of these guys. Go ahead and pop that down there. And we'll go ahead and lower this. I need a home first, that's okay. That works. So we're going to do a home and then a color swap. My color swap is my macro. It's what it's named for doing the filament change. So you're going to see it kind of lift up a little bit after it does its homing, and then kind of jerk to the side just a second, and then it's going to slam in. And bam, bam. That thing doesn't flex, and I love it. Get that in there. And then we'll go ahead and show you that guy's being extruded there. Okay. Little tug test. Okay. And then just to kind of show you, might have to add a little bit to this. Well, extrude that. Tug test, just to show you it's in there. It ain't coming out. There's the little blob down there. And here we go. Let's go ahead and do a home one more time, and then I'm going to color swap. I'm just going to do a home and then a color swap macro, just so I can hold this at a better angle for you guys. And it cut. My East Wing hammer. Yeah, right? And you're probably like, oh my god, you're about to smash this, because I just don't care, because I'm just going to show you. Like, you're not going to hit it harder than that, right? I'm not hitting it super hard, but like, cuts, and then swoop, bam.